Hi folks, this is Karim Rauf from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Matrix Labs, the video number 82. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We are still working with the GPO Zone report concerning troubleshooting of Active Directory. So we have stopped the last time at group policy organizational units. So this is basically a report that will try to scan and see if there is certain conditions concerning your group policies. One of the most important situations that your organizational units that has GPOs linked to it are empty. You don't have any objects in your OUs. You don't have any users or computers, and you are linking an GPO to it. So this is basically means that you don't need this GPO because there is no users or groups in the OU to apply this GPO to. So this is the basic thing this report uh, scans to and consider a situation like that to be need to be reviewed. You need to unlink the GPO, or maybe you need to delete the OU. This is your decision. But here, let's see the discussion of this test. In most Active Directories, there are a lot of organizational units that have different use cases to store different types of objects, maybe users, maybe computers. Active Directory change over time. You can often find organizational units with linked GPOs and no objects inside. This is the main focus of this report. Okay, in some cases that's expected, but in some cases it's totally unnecessary. Maybe you have an OU, you are preparing an OU and linking a GPO to it, and in the future you will put some users or computers in this OU, but not now. Okay, and for a very large AD, this can be a problem. So maybe you create an OU, link a GPO to it, and in the future you didn't create any users or group, and you leave it without noticed or without noticing it. So this report will focus on such situations. So you can unlink the GPO, maybe delete the GPO completely, delete the OU. So this to clean up your Active Directory. Additionally, only user and computer objects can have GPO applied to them. So you also scan if you are linking maybe a group policy to a group. Maybe a group here mean a group object. Okay, but I think it can be applied to a group object, but certainly he is talking about users and computers and groups. We can include that. If a GPO is linked to any other objects other than that, then he will focus also on that and give a report. So having GPO applied to any other object type wouldn't really work. So here he's scanning for unlink GPO. Uh, Maybe you have a GPO and it is not linked. Maybe unlinked GPO deleted. Maybe you have an OU deleted and it's not unlinked yet. Deleted OU. Let's see here or see what he's talking about. Organization units that have group policies unlinked. Okay, so you have a OU without any group policy linked to it. Organization units that have group policies unlinked. See, there is two situations. You have an organizational unit that has GPO unlinked to it, but there is objects that exist in this OU. So maybe you need to link the group policy to this OU. This is that have group policies unlinked, okay, an OU that doesn't have any objects in it. Okay, I think this two is not unlinked. You have an organizational unit that have group policies linked to it. This is normal, and there is objects exist in it. And you have the situation that he will focus on an OU that doesn't contain any applicable objects, and there is a group policy linked to it. Okay, organizational that has been deleted. So you have organizations that have been deleted, no objects, no GPOs. Again, let's not focus on all of this. He will focus on this situation where you have an OU that contains objects, sorry, that doesn't contain objects, and you have linked a group policy to it. So if you can go and see the report, I have two organizational units that doesn't contain any objects in it, and I have linked 4 GPOs to one of them and 1 GPO to the other one. And now he is giving me this warning that you have 2 OUs without any objects in it, okay, and it doesn't and linked a GPO to it, and you don't apply to it anything, okay. So we can see this is a very useful report. We have all of the group policies, so, or sorry, all of the OUs, and how much group policies are linked to them. So for example, we have the domain controller, we have one group policy linked to it, we have two objects, which is my primary and additional domain controller. These are computer objects. The object class is computer. So from here you can know which is the objects that reside in the OU. We can see here is hovercraft. This is another OU. This is at the top level after the domain directly, and we can see I have one GPO linked to this OU. I have 72 count or 72 objects. All of them are this is users, computers, and groups. So we have a lot of objects in this OU. Then we can see this one is the child. It is a child from the top, okay, or the hovercraft. We have child OU, and here this is the root level, it's hovercraft. This is the domain. The status is okay, so a group policy is linked, and okay, linked, and there is objects in the OU. So what we mean by okay, that there is a linked GPO and we have objects in the OU, okay. So we have here one group policy, we have 39 objects, all of them are users, okay. If we go further, 2, 3, 4, we can see all of the OUs and all of the GPO count to each OU and the count of the objects in the OU, okay. So we can see very useful report. What will happen if we have some OUs that have linked GPOs to them or group policies to them and they are empty? You can unlink them. This is the safest one. So first we will install the GPOzor commandlet and then import it to the PowerShell session, and then we will get this report by typing this command, okay. And then what we need to do later or after, here we will remove GPOzor link empty OU. So here this appears from the name, it will unlink the group policy that is linked to an empty OU, okay. This what this command will do if we remove what if and minus verbose, okay. And you can include the domain if this is multiple domain structure, you have a forest with multiple domains, okay. So here is giving you the commandlet limit process. We have processing, we have talked about this before, and this is the description of what limiting process means and what if commandlet mean. We have discussed this before, and this is the first thing. The next thing, unlink unused GPO group policies. The next one is delete unused organizational unit. This you should do it manually, okay. So if you find an OU and there is a GPO linked to it and both are not used, the GPO is not used and the OU is not used, you can unlink the GPO from the OU, delete the GPO and delete the OU, okay. So this is multiple process, okay. And at the end we have the verification report to run the report again to get this verification that everything is now in a healthy state. So this is good. This is like uh, a cleanup, or just to make your Active Directory more organized, okay. Just to not leave any unused OUs and any unused GPOs, okay. If we go to Claude and I asked him to give us examples and explain this topic, this is explained in most Active Directory. So I have taken this text, all of these text, and ask Claude to explain it in a way like I'm a junior IT and I need to have it in a beginner friendly way, okay. Basic concept: think of Active Directory like a big filing cabinet for your organization, where organizational units are like folders that help you organize different types of objects, users, computers, etc. Group policy objects are set of rules that you can link to these folders to control setting. Okay, let's continue and see real world scenario. Let's say you work at a company called TechCorp. We have TechCorp. We have the root uh, the root level sales department, and we have child OUs, sales users, sales computers, sales printers, and we have another root level marketing department, marketing users, marketing computers. Initial setup: you create a GPO called sales software installation that installs CRM software, okay, to the link it to the sales computers. Okay, all computers in the OU get the CRM software installed automatically. Okay, the problem: over time things change. The sales department moves to a new system and all computers are moved to a different OU. The sales computers OU is now empty, but the GPO is still linked to it, using up system resources for no reason. Okay, based on the documentation, you can use the get GPOs or empty link, or you have seen this command to find these situations and remove GPOs or link empty OU to clean them up. This is the commandlet: find empty OUs, okay, and remove them. Here he will, what he will do here, he will remove GPO links. So here what he will do, he will see the empty OUs that have GPOs linked to it, and then he will unlink the GPO from the empty OU. Okay, important things to remember. All users' computers actually see GPOs. Do not waste time linking GPOs to OUs that only contain printers, for example. Okay, this will not apply to it. Or other objects. Focus on OU containing users or computers. Empty OUs with GPOs aren't always wrong. Sometimes you might keep an empty OU temporarily, like preparing for a new employee. Use the exclude organizational unit parameter to protect specific OUs. So if you need to protect an OU, empty OU, from unlinking the group policies on it, you can tell him minus exclude organizational unit for remove GPOs or empty OU. Okay, this is the commandlet, and you can give it to him. And if you go and see the let me get you the commandlets. Okay, here you go. This is if you go to the commandlet here, description get GPOzor link. Let me see here. This is GPOzor empty. I think here. Let's get it further. Empty. I think there is one. Here is remove, but there is also get. I think. Just wait for a moment. GPOzor empty, 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 empty. I think here we have, even though there seems to be one, but okay, let's go to the remove. So here we have remove GPOzor. Just a moment. Remove empty OU. You have the commandlet, okay, to exclude organizational unit. So here it is, and also the get GPOzor. So we have the remove and the get GPOzor. We can see it here in if you go further, just to make sure it is here. You get GPOzor organizational units. This is to get the owner. Okay, so there is no get GPOzor. If you go to that one, get GPOzor empty link, there is remove. I think there is, for sure there is one. If we get like that, get GPOzor empty OU, I think there is, because there is the remove, so you should have the get. Anyway, so we can continue with our scenario. Uh, uh, document here. I think here. Let's. I think I have passed something here. Just wait for a moment. So if I go further up, so this is to exclude an OU. Always test changes first. Use what if parameter to see what would happen without making actual changes. Start with small changes and verify results. Common pitfalls: do not blindly remove all GPO links from empty OU. Some might be intentionally empty for future use. Document important empty OUs and exclude them from the cleanup. Okay, not forget about inheritance. An OU might appear empty, but its sub OU might have objects. This is also a very intelligent node. Okay, just to make sure you have the parent OU empty, but the sub OU is not empty. The GPO Zero tool handle this automatically, but it's important to understand. Do not forget to backup. Before making bulk changes, use backup Zor to create a backup. So and so, this is the backup. Using tools and understanding these concepts will help you maintain a cleaner, more efficient Active Directory environment. It's especially important in large organizations where small inefficiencies can add up to the significant performance impacts. So here, this is a basic explanation. Here I'm asking him to further explain this topic by a dialogue between a junior IT and a senior IT. So let's see here. Okay, let's talk about the fundamental concept in Active Directory, organizational units and their relationship with GPOs, particularly focusing on MTOUs with linked GPOs. Looking at this GPOs or documentation, tell me in your own words what you understand about this relationship and why it matters. Just a moment. Junior IT admin, well, I think I understand that OUs are like folders in Active Directory where we put different objects like users and computers, and GPOs are like rules we attach to these folders. Okay, but sometimes we might have empty folders with rules attached to them. Which doesn't make sense, right? Senior IT constructor, you are on the right track. Let's make this more concrete. Could you draw out or describe how you might structure or use for a company with sales and IT departments? Okay, here is the junior IT design for the IT. The root domain, then we have sales OU, IT OU, sub OUs, sales users, sales computers, IT users, IT computers. And then we will put GPOs on these to control things like software installation and security setting. Good start. Here is a scenario. The sales department reorganized and moved all their users to a new OU structure. But the old sales users OU still has a GPO linked to it that enforces password policy. What potential issues do you see here? Well, since there are no users in the OU anymore, the GPO isn't doing anything useful. But is this causing any harm? I am not really sure. Excellent question. Let me explain why this matters and show you how to handle it using GPOs or tools. So, impact of MTOUs with GPOs. Each linked GPO must be processed during group policy updates. In large environments, unnecessary GPO links create processing overhead, can complicate troubleshooting and management. Let me take something here just to make sure that this is a correct answer. Uh, let's ask ChatGPT that question. Impact on performance. Let's see how he will answer that. Okay, have various impacts to environment depending largely on the size and the complexity. Minimal direct performances. When an MTU is empty, it means that contain users linked to it have no targets to apply. The result clients do not process these GPOs. Okay, this means like server side, so client side, it will not affect server side processing. Similarly, Domico does not expend additional resources processing these GPOs for MTOUs. The evaluation of GPOs is streamlined since there are no objects within OU to apply to. So why Claude is saying the opposite? While the direct performance impact is minimal, several indirect factors could be considered. Active Directory complexity, okay, so this will be complicated Active Directory, just to make it more simple. Administrative overhead, so okay, this can be replication traffic. Although OU doesn't directly burden replication, having a large number of OUs, okay, this is from the replication thing. GPO enumeration during GPO processing. This is what Claude is talking about. During GPO processing, the system enumerates OU to determine applicable GPOs, while MTUs doesn't directly affect this process. A vast number of OUs could slightly increase the time taken for GPO processing due to the additional enumeration steps. However, in most environments, the impact remains minimal. K enumerates OUs to determine applicable GPOs, while GPO doesn't directly affect this process. Vast numbers of OUs could slightly increase the time taken for GPO processing. Okay, that's correct. If you have large or have large number of empty OUs, this should take time until they check or the system check for GPO processing on all of them. I think this is the step. Best practice to meditate. So okay, this can be okay. In summary, it usually had a negligible direct impact on performance. However, maintaining a streamlined and well-organized OU structure is crucial. So this is the answer of uh, ChatGPT o1. If I go to Perplexity and tell him the same question, maybe he can search online for some resources concerning that topic. So let's see the answer of Perplexity concerning this topic. The impacts of relationship with GPOs on performance is a nonsense topic in Active Directory Manager. Are some key points. Okay, is understanding OUs and GPOs. GPOs can be linked to OUs, not directly to containers, which means structure and the content of OU can significantly affect how policies are applied and their overall. So one thing here, the structure and content of OUs can significantly affect how policies are applied and their overall effectiveness. Okay, performance impact of M2Us. An M2U is the one that does not contain any objects. Okay, while an M2U itself doesn't directly consume significant resources, it can lead to inefficiencies in policy management if GPO are linked to these OUs without any relevant objects. GPO processing. When a GPO is linked to an OU, the group policy processing occurs during user login or computer startup. That's correct. If an OU is empty, GPO linked to it is essentially redundant and there are no objects to apply the policy to. This can lead to unnecessary complexity in the group policy environment, but generally does not have a direct negative impact on system performance. So again, this is what ChatGPT have said, complexity and overhead. So it's from the complexity and overhead view. This is not acceptable. Okay, you have okay, so and so best practice for managing OUs, optimize performance and manageability in Active Directory environments, streamline OU structure, regular cleanup, linking so and so, monitor performance. In summary, while M2Us with linked GPOs does not directly degrade performance, they can lead to inefficiencies in management and potential confusion in policy application. A well-organized structure with active and relevant OUs will enhance both performance and administrative efficiency in managing group policies within an Active Directory. So again, this will not affect the performance in a huge thing. Okay, processing overhead. Okay, maybe from the point of enumerating OUs and saying if they have any GPOs applied to them. Anyway, so we can go and continue. Can complicate troubleshooting and management. Practical investigation. Get GPOs or MTOU minus verbose format so and so. Okay. Then first we need to see the affected, remove GPOs or MTOU, so and so. Okay, and what if, we will see first who is affected by putting what if minus verbose and minus everything looks good. Okay, remove the unnecessary links, remove GPOs or link minus verbose. Okay, let me see something. Get GPOs or empty link OU. This commandlet, can we find it in the documentation? Because I think we can find something like that, even though it's not here. Get GPO empty. What does it say? It say GPO ZOR link empty OU. So let's go to the L link summary. We have link summary and link, not link empty OU. So we don't, there is no the get command, but I think if I go to the examples, okay, let me see that. So we have a couple of uh, scripts. Find GPOs, remove GPOs, permissions, showcase, find empty OUs. So this is the script. So here get GPO ZOR unit, invoke, okay, I think. So in an indirect way, we don't have a command like that. So I think this commandlet is not there. So you need to run it using uh, this command invoke. You get the report directly. Okay. So anyway, let's continue and see the situation or the approach. What questions do you have about this approach? Oh, I think I get it now, but what if we are planning to add users back to the OU later? Wouldn't removing the GPO link cause problems? Great question. This is exactly why GPO ZOR includes safety features like exclude organizational unit. This is done already. Okay, so let's create a checklist for you when dealing with empty OU. Always investigate why the OU is empty. Document any OUs that should remain empty with GPO links. Use what if before making changes. Keep backups using GPO ZOR commandlet. Would you like to practice with the test scenario in our lab environment? How I am doing explaining these concepts? Would you like to explore any particular aspects in more detail? So this is basically very simple dialogue between the two. Now we need to have some exercises to also explain this topic. So here we can see also the answer of Claude. I will design a comprehensive hands-on learning path with 6 exercises plus a bonus challenge focusing on managing M2Us and GPO links using GPO ZOR. Okay, we have a scenario, Windows Server 2019-2022 domain controller, Active Directory administrative access, GPO ZOR module installed, test domain environment. Okay, basic OU and GPO link discovery. Learn how to identify M2Us with linked GPOs in your environment. You have joined TechCorp as a junior administrator. The previous admin left without documentation. Need to audit OUs and their GPO links. So you first need to make an inventory of your OUs and the linked GPOs to them. So you'll open PowerShell, invoke GPO ZOR, import the module of GPO or the commandlets. Then this command get GPO ZOR empty link OU. This is not a correct one, but we can run the report. As we have seen here, we run and we can get this report directly by running this commandlet. Okay, let's continue and see. Then you have list of empty OUs with linked GPOs, number of GPOs, links per empty OU. This is done through the report. If we go there, we can see this report does that. We have the child OU or the parent OU, GPO count, and the objects in it. Okay, so this is a good thing. Let's continue. Verification, cross-reference results with Active Directory users and computers. Document findings in a spreadsheet. Okay, this can be done also by exporting it to Excel, CFZ, PDF, and a lot of formats. GPO link analysis. Understand which GPOs are linked to MTUs and evaluate their purpose. Your manager wants to know what types of policies are linked to link to MTOUs. Get detailed information or GPO information. I think also this commandlet will not help. You need to get something. There is another commandlet we will see in the upcoming few minutes. We can have a report called GPO summary, it will get all of the group policies and the OUs linked to it, but not through this commandlet. Anyway, C will continue, and here still he's assuming this commandlet is correct. I urge you all to try to implement this command, and you export it to CSV. Detailed report of GPO linked to empty OUs, creation dates and descriptions of linked GPOs. Okay. A verification review CSV file, check GPO setting through GPO policy management console, save GPO link cleanup. So here before clean up or unlinking GPOs from empty OUs, we first need to back up the group policies. Then we have also some OUs that are empty, but we will not unlink the GPOs from them. This will be excluded. So we can see there is a parameter to exclude these two, and then we will remove GPO. Okay, this is correct command. What if and exclude, we will take this parameter to include these two, not to unlink any GPOs from them. List of GPO links that would be removed. Protected OU remains unchanged. Okay, review what if output. Verify protected OUs still have their links. Okay, GPO health. So here we can, after cleanup links, we need to verify GPO health across the domain. We have check GPO consistency. We have seen this commandlet before to get permissions or compare commissions of group policies in the Active Directory database and in the sysvol folder. This is GPO ZOR permission consistency. If there is any broken GPOs, one existing in the database of Active Directory and not in the sysvol, and the opposite. List of GPOs with consistency issues, identification of broken or orphaned GPOs, cross-reference with Group Policy Management Console, verification, document any inconsistent finding, automated documentation, create a script to document all changes made to GPO links. So here we have a script. Okay, get GPO ZOR empty link OU. This, if this command is right, he will give you the report, but it is not a correct one. So we will attach this script to this schedule task. Okay, this is also using PowerShell. All of this is done using the PowerShell. But let me get you something here. We can change this by, I think here we can get this one. Okay, this is the correct this one. Okay, get GPO organizational units. This will be the right commandlet. Okay, I think this is it. Anyway, so we can continue with the assumption. Expected outcome, automated weekly reports. You can run the report. What you can do, you can tell him to invoke GPO ZOR. You can run this commandlet, okay, or create a schedule task, run GPO ZOR commandlet, okay, but to add the pass for the to take all of this. Okay, you can take all of this and put it in a schedule task, okay, to run it to get this report and change the file path. Okay, so this can be a good thing to run this commandlet in a schedule task. Okay, so we can continue. Exchange impact analysis. Learn to assess the impact of removing GPO links. Before removing GPO links, analyze potential impacts on other OUs. Analyze GPO inheritance. If there is child OUs, maybe this will affect the inheritance. Get GPO ZOR inheritance, include blocked objects. Okay, get GPO ZOR link limited, skip duplicates. Okay, so check for linked GPOs elsewhere, check for inheritance. Anyway, we will continue. Expect outcome understanding of GPO inheritance, impact assessment report, verification, document the inheritance paths, create change management plan. Bonus challenge, you need to answer this one. Create a PowerShell script that identifies empty OUs with GPO links. Check against an approved exception list. Create backup, remove unnecessary links. generate a report, send email notification. This test will uh, this will test your understanding of PowerShell scripting, GPOs or module capabilities, Active Directory management, change control process, documentation process. So, okay, this can be good exercise. Now I'm asking it to create a security incident that an M2OU can lead to a security issue or a hacking process. And also this can be uh, explained using two IT scenarios, okay, or a senior IT and a junior IT. Okay, let me simulate an incident response table top exercise between a senior IT instructor and a junior IT administrator regarding GPO and OU security incidents. Okay, we have received several alerts from our monitoring system. Review these findings and tell me what you make of them. Alert: 50 GPO links were added to an M2OU in the last hour. Multiple notification to existing GPOs between 2 and 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. New OU created. Okay, this OU with a GPO linked containing privileged access rights. Sysvor replication showing unusual activity patterns. Okay, junior IT. It seems concerning because adding that many GPO links at once isn't normal, especially to empty OUs. The timing is suspicious. Middle of the night changes, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. The new OU name looks like it might be a backdoor access, backup admin access, but I'm not sure what this is what replication means. Okay, activity means. Good initial observation. Let's investigate using GPOzor. Here what I should do. This commandlet will get the changes done to any group policies within 24 hours. This is a real commandlet. It's already there. Uh, and list all MTUs with new GPO links. This is not the correct command, but we can run the report by running this commandlet. Okay, so we can change this step by adding this line. Okay, get GPO permissions. This is if get GPO permissions to see the group policy permissions, not administrative. Include permission type, edit, modify, edit, delete, and modify. So here we, with get permissions, we are currently seeking, just a moment, we are currently seeking if there's someone has added users or groups to a GPO and give it edit permissions. If we see this commandlet here, if we get to the documentation, if you go further, here is the documentation, and we can see here get GPOzor permissions. Where is the permissions? Here you go. This is the commandlet. Here we can have add something like here's telling non-administrative. Where is the commandlet here? Okay, we can see include permissions. This is correct. We have skip administrative. Where is the and administrative? Okay, exclude. So he is talking about not administrative type. Where is the type? Wait for a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. I think here get GPO permission. I think skip administrative or skip well known. This could be the correct parameter type, not administrative. Include permission. This is already, this parameter is there. Include permissions is already there, but I think skip administrative or skip well known. I think this administrative to skip any groups that are administrative, like the domain admin or enterprise admin. I think skip well known will do the same actually, even though there is no description for the parameters. We can see here this, there is no uh, uh, explanation concerning here's type. We can see here, okay, I think this is what we need. Type is authenticated users accepted values. So I think here, let's see if we have it. Not well known, not administrative. So I think this is correct. It's not administrative. So he is correct. I thought he was getting the wrong parameter. So I think this is correct. So this is a correct one. And let's say, what actions would you take for contamination? Should we maybe back up all GPOs first using backup GPOs, or block GPO replication temporarily, remove those GPO links to MTOUs? I am worried about breaking something though. So we have a couple of situations. We have a lot of GPOs linked to MTOUs. We have newly created GPOs. We have should we stop the replication? So let's see here what will the senior IT say. Good instinct on backing up first. Let's walk through the proper contamination step. Create forensic backups just to make sure to back up all of the hacker created newly GPO, just to be an evidence who is the owner and who is the creator, and the time of creation, and so then we will get the permissions on all of the GPOs just to make sure who is the or have permissions for edit and modify or so on. So the things that we was discussing earlier. Identify compromised GPOs inconsistency if there is. Yes, so if he have added, the hacker added maybe permissions on uh, the database or the group policy object on the database, and it is not on the sysvol, but I think it will be inherited to the sysvol folder, or it will be added to the sysvol folder as well. But here this is to check there is inconsistency. Maybe the hacker has already added some permissions to the group policy on the sysvol folder, but not on the object in the Active Directory database. This for inconsistency. And if you have broken here, I think here we have broken GPOs if they are not in the sysvol folder. Maybe the hacker has deleted the group policy from the sysvol folder, so not to be implemented or something. So let's continue with the scenario. Contain the threat, remove GPO ZOR link MTOU to unlink the 50 GPOs that are linked to MTOUs. Okay, and here we have what if parameter. Always verify before removing using what if. Document everything for forensic. Check both AD and sysvol sides. Go the group policy in the AD and the sysvol and see if there is any differences. Monitor for any for additional suspicious activity. I see, but how we do prevent this from happening again? Should we set up some kind of monitoring? Okay, here he is creating a scheduled task to monitor GPO changes. Here he will create a scheduled task and put import the GPO ZOR modules, run GPO permissions consistency, mail it, send an email to if there is any inconsistency, send an email to the admin, but I think we need to add SMTP parameter. Okay, I think simply we can just create a scheduled task and tell it to run this parameter just to get linked this parameter, or for the GPO empty or empty or use with linked GPOs, we can run this parameter, or for consistency we can run this parameter as he's saying that, but I think we need to add the SMTP. Anyway, implement least privilege, gives GPO permissions, not administrative. Remove GPOs or permissions if there is any non-administrative groups, but this can be tricky because maybe I am adding some groups to some GPOs, okay, maybe accounting team or whatsoever. So I think this also should be monitored closely. Okay, we need to get the permissions, then decide if we need to remove non-administrative groups from this GPO or not. Okay, and we have some MTOUs to not to be remove links from it. Okay, remember regular audits are crucial. Monitor off hours change, keep documents updated, test monitoring alerts, having an incident response plan ready. okay, okay. Okay, I think here is something else. Oh, what was this? Over time, more above our business are required. Okay, I think this is the next thing here. So this is our test. Then we go to the GPO summary. Okay, this is a test. Okay, to see if there is a couple of situations that are available. For example, over time, administrators add more and more group policies as business requirements change. Due to neglection or thinking it may serve its purpose, later on, a lot of group policies often has no value at all. Either the group policy is not linked to anything, so it's already created but not linked to anything, and just stays unlinked forever. So why we need it if it's not linked? Or GPO is linked, but the link are disabled, or you have linked the group policy to a GPO, but you disable the group policy itself, okay, not to be implemented. Or GPO is totally disabled, okay, so maybe part of the group policies are disabled, or the group policy itself is totally disabled, even though it is linked. Then there are group policies that are targeting certain group or person, and that group is removed. So leaving the group policy doing nothing. So maybe you have linked a group policy to the accounting team, and or linked the group policy to certain to the accounting team, and then you have removed the accounting team for any reason. So the group policy will not be applied to any group anymore. Additionally, sometimes new GPOs is created without any setting, left blank. So you create an empty GPO. So why you create an empty GPO and leave it? So I need to remove it. Okay, that's one thing we need to focus on. So this report will get you group policy summary about how linked GPOs in your environment, not empty. So you have 13 group policy linked to OUs. They are not empty, they are enabled. You have the apply permission on them. So we need to have authenticated users to have apply permission so they can apply the GPOs. They are valid. They are optimized for speed of implementation. We have 11, but we have 2 not optimized. We will see that's why. We have no problems concerning them. I think here maybe errors or something. No, for the group policies for computers, for users, optimized computers. This is the group policies that are optimized for computers. So here is focusing upon optimization. You need to optimize your group policies for users or for computers. We have 11. 13 of them are for computers, and we have optimized for users. Okay, I think we have some issues here with the optimization of group policies. We will see what we mean by optimization when we see the explanation of Claude. Okay, so this is like a summary. Keep in mind that each GPO can match multiple conditions such as being empty and unlinked and disabled. Okay, it is empty, it's not linked, it is disabled. We are only deleting GPO once, okay, and all empty or unlinked or disabled group policies can be automatically deleted. Please review output in the table and follow steps below table to clean up group policies. GPOs that have content but are disabled require manual intervention. If performance is an issue, you should consider disabling user or computer sections of a GPO when those are not in use. So if you create a GPO that uh, and you configure the computer section in this GPO, then the user section in this GPO is not needed. So you need to disable the group policy user section in the group policy. So this will help to speed up the implementation of the group policy. So if you have a group policy and you will configure only the computer section of this group policy, then you should disable the user section, okay, and leave the computer section enabled. This will increase the speed of the implementation of the group policy. Okay, so additionally, we are reviewing group policies that have their section disabled but not contain data. So maybe you have in the situation of you have a group policy that you have content that you have it create a group policy and it is empty and it is disabled. I don't know why this situation could happen. Okay, so such policies may require review for whoever owns them. It would be a mistake the section was disabled while containing data where the content is no longer needed, in which case it should be deleted. This can be auto-handled as an informational only. Okay, so let's see first the report generated uh, from the GPO Zor. We can see here that we have a lot of things. We have, for example, this is the group policy. Its named is Xeon. This is linked to uh, this is the group policy. This is the domain in which this group policy is. This is the GUID for the group policy. We have it was created from 249 days. It's not empty, false. We can see here empty means GPO has currently no content. It could be there there was content but it was removed, or it has never added content, so it's not empty. Okay, linked, it is linked to is linked or unlinked. Okay, so this group policy, it's not empty, it is linked, it is enabled, it is optimized. Okay, this is for I think the computer section. It is optimized for computer. We will see that in a moment. Problem means GPO has one or more section or user or computer that is disabled, yet there is content in it. We don't have something like that. We have content, for example, of uh, user is disabled. If this is a computer GPO, user section is disabled and it is empty. Okay, he's saying that maybe you have it disabled, user section disabled, but it contains or there is content in it. So we have it false. Apply permission true means it has the application. This means that no user group is applicable to it. So if we have true, that means that we have maybe authenticated users or any group that have apply permissions to it. This is important, so the group policy will be applied. If you go and continue with the report, let's see, I need to have it something like this. So if we go further, now we have okay, apply permission, exclude, false. I don't know what I mean by exclude. Size, description, computer policy. So we can see this is computer configuration setting disabled. So this is a user configuration. It's not a group policy, user configuration, not computer configuration group policy. This is registry. I think this is registry keys. We have three uh, file count in the sysvol folder or the group policy folder in the sysvol folder. It is linked to one OU. The link is enabled. We have it computer configuration, computer problem, false. Problem we don't have. So he is saying that the computer section is disabled. Okay, and it doesn't contain any content. Here he's saying that computer problem, we have the computer configuration disabled and it is empty. If it is true, then it means it is disabled but it contains data or configuration. If we continue further and see the other things here, we can see that it is optimized, so it is disabled, the computer section. User problem false, so that means that it contains data. Okay, so this is false and this is true, I think. Okay, so this is false, true, false, true. Computer setting available false, user setting available true. And we can continue. So if we can go further, okay, computer setting types, user setting, it is policy. We have it computer enabled false, user enabled true, computer setting status never modified. Okay, that's correct. Let's continue with the setting. So uh, we have computer setting version identical to computer setting user setting status modified. So we have changed the user setting, it is modified. User setting version identical true. If we continue with the setting, okay, now we can go further. It is uh, false. It was created in so modified and so read time the last time it was applied. It was created, was modified, and it is applied read time. I think maybe the read time here there is no much data concerning all of the all of the columns. If we continue, go like that. We have Wi-Fi filter, GPO distinguished name, GPO path. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Here is the GPO distinguished name. This is the location of the group policy in the Active Directory database, and the location of the group policy in the sysvol folder. So as we can see, the report is very detailed. It contains a lot of useful information, and we can see at the end, this is the permissions on, I think, the permission of the groups on the group policy in the sysvol folder. Okay, so I think here is the GUID, and here it is, I think, with 39. I think this is, so these are the permissions in not in a familiar way, but these are permissions. We can see WR read and write. So these are the permissions, I think, on the group policy folder in the sysvol folder. Okay, so this is a lot of things and a lot of useful data. What concerns us that we have two group policies that are not optimized. Okay, which group policy is talking about? If you go to, this is the one, default domain controllers policy, and we have I think another one, default domain controllers policy and lapse group policy. Okay, it is not optimized. That means that one section is enabled or the two sections are enabled. So for example, you have a group policy for computers, you are configuring the computer section, you enable it, and you leave the user section still enabled. You need to disable it. Okay, so we have the lapse, we can optimize it. This is for maybe computers, so we need to disable the user section. As for domain controllers, I do not prefer to play with this group policy because this is the default one. We can disable the user section because I think most of the default domain controller policy will concern the computer, but anyway, you should not play with the default domain controllers policy. You can play with your customized or newly created GPOs. I think here let's get most useful data concerning this one. Is it a user? We can get it from up there, I think. Computer setting available. Let's see here. True. So this is a computer setting available true, and the user is false. So most of the setting of the default domain controllers policy are computer section, not user section. Okay, so this is a good thing. So we can run the report, but before doing anything, we need to, this is to run the report. Before that, let you go previous one. You can run the report to generate that and then make backup before any step, and then you can go further. Excluding group policies, remove GPOs or commandlet will use it will I think that means you can pick up just empty, just unlinked, or just disabled. So I prefer to do most of these actions manually. Okay, do not use a script to do that. Okay, you can see group policies that are not needed and deleted it. If they are bulk, I think we need to have script. Let's read. Remove GPOs or commandlet you will use in the next steps is pretty advanced in what it can do. It can remove one or multiple types of problems at the same time. This means you can pick up empty GPOs, unlinked GPOs, disabled GPOs, but also a mix of them if you want. If you also provide a way to exclude some GPOs from being removed, even though they match condition. Okay, you would do so using the following approach. So, for example, you need to skip a couple of group policies and then remove GPOs. I think that was not, uh, or it was, for example, not uh, uh, executed for 30 days, maybe. Type it is empty, unlinked, disabled, and the backup, and we can limit the process, so and so, include so and so, your domain, so and so. Code above, when executed, will scan your domain you have permissions for, find all empty, unlinked, and disabled group policies, back up any GPO before it's to be deleted to so and so, the backup location. It's not able to make a backup. If it's not will make a backup, it will terminate the command. Additionally, it will skip 3 group policies that have shown above to exclude these. You can one or multiple groups to be skipped. Now go ahead and find what's there. So good thing. Remove GPOs manually. Okay. If the amount is small, deleting manually on domain will be much faster than doing it controlled. 1 to 5 to 30 GPOs manually on a domain of 4,000 will be much faster than doing it controlled manner. So if you about 30 GPOs, you can delete them manually faster than doing them with a script. Okay, can take about 30 minutes. You can take 8 hours using automated script because of amount of checks required by the script. Okay, so you prefer to do that manually if they are 1 to 5 to 30 GPOs. Okay, remove GPOs that are empty. You can use this commandlet. Okay, it's empty. What is the required days here? He's talking about uh, what is the required days. If we go there to remove GPO, here we have remove. This is the one, remove GPO ZOR. If we see here is the commandlet, I think. Remove GPO ZOR required 30 days. Let's see what are the required days. Okay, here it is. If we go further, required days, fill required days. Okay, it doesn't give us any info about what we mean by required days. Okay, anyway, remove GPOs that are empty. This is the commandlets. If we go further, remove GPOs that are. So this is one will do a lot of things. This is to do it manually or step by step. This is unlinked, and the other one is for disabled. Remove GPOs that do not apply. Okay, non-apply permissions. So there is no groups or users or computers to apply the GPO to. Optimization, this is a good one. You can optimize this, or you can use this to optimize all of your GPOs, but take care the default domain controllers group policy will be included. Okay, so we can see this one, verification, run the report at the end. So a good report. Let's see how this will be explained through Claude. Think of group policies the same. Okay, the same example. Think of GPO group policy like rules in the employee handbook. Over time, some rules become outdated or unnecessary, but they might still be sitting in the handbook, taking up space. In Active Directory, these unused rules can come in several forms. Uh, Real world scenario. Let's say you work for a tech corp and you encounter these situations. Unlinked GPOs install Office GPO created in 2016, no longer linked anywhere. Company now uses Office 365. Disabled links, marketing OU. Block social media GPO. Link is disabled. Group policy that was disabled, even though it's linked to an OU. Created during a temporary policy. Link was disabled but never removed. Empty used. Higher new higher setting GPO created for a project, never configured, just taking up space. So let's use GPOs to identify these problems. Get GPOs or type unlinked, get GPOs or disabled. Check GPO setting, look for empty ones. Invoke GPOs or content, type all. Uh, I think we have a command like this. If we go there, invoke, where is the invoke? Here is the invoke GPO content. Type, just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Here we can see that invoke contents minus type. We can see all. Anyway, I think the parameter is correct. This will get the content. Look for empty ones. Okay, invoke GPOs or content. Common pitfalls, blind deletion. Do not delete GPOs just because they are currently unlinked. Okay, you need to back up the group policies. Get GPOs or type empty. Okay, format and display it. Ignore performance impact. Do not leave unused sections enabled. Do use GPOzor for optimize GPOzor. GPO optimization section based on actual usage. We have seen this. Poor documentation. Do not make changes without tracking. Do document changes and reasons. Get GPOzor, export the GPOs. Or you can run the reports for the summary, like this one. I think this can be a good way. Prepare the environment. We have the prepare the report. We can run this report, GPO list, to get all of this useful data. Okay, so, okay. But let me first see something. Is this commandlet correct? Yes, it's get GPOzor. Okay, we are correct. Best practice to regular audit. Okay, GPO consistency, permissions, I think consistency, GPO list. This was we're talking about for a couple of minutes. And performance, we have seen this. Performance optimization, limit process, backup. So we have performance optimization, cleanup. We have everything. Documentation, optimization. Best practice is to regular audit, to optimize, to back up, to analyze, export, and then remove empty, unlinked. Okay, so I think this is good. Real world impact. Example, consider a scenario where your company has 1,000 GPOs, but 200 are unlinked, and 50 have disabled links, 100 are empty, 50 have unused sections enabled. Each of these unnecessary GPOs increase AD database size, slows down system replication, make troubleshooting harder, complicate GPO management. Using GPOzor to clean up this could reduce GPO process time, improve AD replication, make management easier, reduce risk of errors. Remember, always back up before making changes. Use what if parameter to preview changes, document your cleanup process, communicate changes to stakeholders, maintain a regular audit schedule. Okay, so here we will go and ask it to explain it further uh, by a scenario again between the senior and the junior IT. Let's see here. Let's focus on group policy objects and their life cycle management. Can explain your understanding of how GPO can become inefficient or unused over time. And what impact this might have on Active Directory environment? Well, from what I understand, it's kind of like having a messy closet over time. We keep adding new GPOs as we need them, but we don't always clean up the old ones. So we might current GPOs, old computers setting unused, disabled policies forgotten, empty GPOs never configured, unlinked GPOs just floating around. Is, is that on the right track? Good start with the analogy. Let's explain on this. Can you draw or describe a specific scenario where this might become a problem? We have seen these examples before. Marketing GPO, install Office 2016 disabled, block social media unlinked, printer setting, no actual setting configured. I think this would cause performance issues because AD still has to process them, right? Excellent visualization. Let me add some depths into your understanding. GPO processing impact, GPOs or get type disabled, empty, unlinked, and display them. Performance issues. Each GPO must be read during policy processing. Sysvor replication includes all GPOs. Troubleshooting becomes more complex. Let's see how you can identify these issues in your environment. Try running this command and tell me what you see. Invoke GPOs or this is the report. Okay, I see a lot of GPOs in the report. Haven't seen them modified in years, and others have no setting. Why should we delete these old ones? Senior IT, good observation, but let's approach this methodologically. Here is a safer approach. Get GPOs or get the report, I think, before cleaning, or you can get the report. This is GPO list report, so you can get this report. I think this is enough. You can read it and then back up before deleting any ones or unlinking any ones. Check for linked but disabled GPOs. Get GPOs or linked all where object is enabled, not enabled, so this is disabled. Optimize GPOs or let me give you a real world scenario how you'd handle this situation. The HR department has 15 GPOs, 5 are disabled, 3 are empty, and 2 are unlinked. They want to improve GPO processing time but are worried about breaking something. Junior IT, I would back up everything, document what GPOs are unused, maybe disable them first before deleting, but I'm not sure about the best order. Good thinking about safety. Let's enhance your approach. Assessment, get the HR group policy and uh, name GPR, HR and export it. Analyze usage consistency if there is any consistent permissions. Test phasing, optimize if it is there. Test optimization if there any links. Okay, get links and get optimization. Implement remove if it is empty GPOs. Key lessons, always document before changing, use what if, so on. So, okay. The last one is to have a security incident concerning these issues, how a hacker can get benefit or take advantage of situations like empty GPO, unlinked GPO, so on. So let's see. We have received the following alerts from our monitoring system. Multiple disabled GPOs suddenly re-enabled. 230. New GPO was created and linked to multiple GPOs. Several previous empty GPOs now containing new security setting. Multiple GPO links enabled on historically empty OUs. At event 5136, multiple GPO modification during off hours. So this looks suspicious because time is unusual. Change at 2:30 a.m. Mass re-enabling of disabled GPOs isn't normal. Empty GPOs suddenly having content could indicate compromise. Why would empty OUs suddenly need active GPO links? Okay, maybe something trying to use our old forgotten GPOs to deploy malicious setting. Okay, so we will run this command to check recent GPO setting. This command for look for recent modified GPO objects. 1 day. Check for suspicious links. Okay, so all of these to do these changes. If we go further and see what immediate contamination action could you take? Take a backup, this is correct. Disable the suspicious new GPO security 2024 that was created. Uh, maybe disable the modified GPOs. If I have already GPOs that was modified, may disabling. I think this should take care concerning this one. Check what setting was actually changed. Let's execute a proper incident response plan. First, we will backup. This is a good thing. We will get disable suspicious GPO. We will set up the link. This one we should disable it. Okay, the new created one. Okay, that's correct. Evidence collection. Get the content of all of the GPOs. Get GPOs or content. Okay, of all the GPOs. Get permission change. Okay, get permission GPO permission change. This is correct. Analyze tools used, GPO ZOR for GPO analysis, event log analysis, vault change monitoring, permission auditing, actual findings. That can use dormant GPOs to avoid detection. Already created GPOs here are modifying them. MTOU were used as staging areas. All disabled GPOs were repurposed for malicious deployment. Recovery steps: restore backup. If you have an old backup, to restore the modified GPOs, remove compromised or GPO links, remove MTOU or remove group policies that are linked to MTOUs, remove clean up unused GPOs, remove GPO type empty. Okay, the OU is empty, the group policy is linked, unlink the group policies from the MTOU, so 2 steps. Prevention measures, regular GPO cleanup, schedule task, invoke the report. Okay, this is my GPO list to get this report to be run monthly, to get all of this data manually, to get every month to get all of this data. Okay, and implementation, monitor for off-hour changes. This is a useful command to get any changes in the group policies after a certain amount of time or during off-hours change. Good thing. Lessons learned. Unused GPOs pose security risk. Regular cleanup is crucial. Monitor GPO changes actively. Document all unauthorized changes. Maintain good backup practice. Very, very good example. We see that we have already 2 concepts discovered, or today we have discussed group policy organizational units and group policy summary. So this is all for today. Hope this video informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.